In this tutorial we're going to take a look at using the mail merge facility. The mail merge facility allows you to create a template letter, and then at some point in the future you can generate multiple copies of that letter to send out to either your property owners or your tenants. And you can send that either by print or email, or you can just save it as a letter online. So I'm going to start by going to Functions and then choose Mail Merge. And this is where we create our letter. Now I can either open an existing template if I have one already, or in this case I'm going to create a new one. I'll give the new letter a name, and I need to choose whether it's a template letter or an owner letter, because I get different options later. So I'm going to say it's a template for a tenant. Now I can start typing my letter. So I might start with saying something like hi, and then I might want to put the tenant's name. So what I can do is go to the insert option over here, and I can insert special fields like this one, the tenant's name, and you'll see it will insert a special tag into my letter. I can insert some other tags, like I can say your current balance is, and then find down here the balance owing. I'll insert another one, your paid to date. Now if I push the preview button here, I can take a look at what that letter looks like, and you'll see it's automatically inserted the tenant's name and the balance owing and their paid to date into that letter for me. So this is just a sample. What I can do now is I can do some formatting on my letter. So let's say I might want to make that bold and underline. Maybe this section here I want to right justify it. Maybe also I want to change the formatting. Maybe I'll make it a much larger font. This one down here I might use a different type of font, maybe a different color. So if I push the preview button again now, you can see all that formatting has been applied. I'll just save my letter here, my template. The next thing I can do once I've finished creating my letter and I'm happy with it is I can start generating letters. So I can push the generate button here, and because this is a tenant letter, it will give me a list of all my tenants. And now I can select which ones I want to create a letter for. So I'm going to pick a few of these tenants. So I'll stick to 4 of them there. I have the option down here of allowing these letters to be viewed online. So if this tenant was to log in online via their own login, they'll be able to see this letter. So if I say OK, it'll now generate those letters. And there it is. So it's created me 4 letters. And if I open one of them, this is to the Mr. Demo tenant, you'll see it's automatically got their name. If I open a different one to this one down here, it's got a different name. So it's automatically filled in the appropriate values for each of those tenants. Now from here, this is actually the letters menu now. From here I can select letters, and I can choose to print the selected ones, or I can email the selected letters. Now if I choose email, I need to have an email address. So in this case only one of my tenants has got an email address. So if I select to email to the second tenant, it won't actually do an email at all because I haven't got an email address. But I can email it to this person here. And I can also choose to delete these letters as well. Now if I go and take a look at one of these tenants, let's go to Mr. Demo tenant. So we go back to tenants, we choose Mr. Demo tenant. Now if I go to the letters tab, we can see there's the letter that I just created. So that's another way of accessing the letters. It automatically saves a copy of that letter against each tenant. And if I created an owner specific letter, then it would attach it to the owner instead. Now there's a couple of special fields in the mail merge. If we go back to our letter again, this time I'm going to open an existing one. I've got one here called a receipt example. Now we can create receipts using the mail merge facility, and there's some special fields available for receipts, and you'll see them down here. These ones down here, receipt date, amount, number. So these receipt specific ones down here. So I can create a letter with receipt numbers and receipt dates. And now when I create a transaction through the cash book, if I was to add a new transaction, I'll select rent and I'll select a tenant that I want to send this to create this receipt for. You'll see down here there's an option to create a receipt, and next to it I get to choose which letter I want to use. And there's that receipt example letter that is in that's the template that we created, or that we looked at just a few seconds ago. So in a nutshell, that's how you create mail merge letters.